Applying for a new credit card can be a bittersweet occasion, or simply a bitter occasion if you aren't approved. It sucks, but that does happen as well. So, in today's video, we'll take a look at 5 really good soft pull credit cards that can let you know your chances of qualifying for the new credit card before moving forward and submitting that application. The reason why you'd want to do this is mainly to protect your credit score, because getting a hard inquiry for the application itself can drop your credit score by a few points at the very least. So, since there are cards out there that will approve you before impacting your score, I think it's best to share this information with all of you. Hey everyone, I'm CJ and I talk about credit cards and finance related topics, and apparently from time to time I'll upload videos about vacations if I'm using points. If any of that sounds interesting to you, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. For those of you who are watching my channel, only a small percentage of you are subscribed, so help me to grow this number by hitting that subscription button. It really does help out this channel a lot. The first card on the list is none other than, drum roll please. Yes, I'm totally smashing the air. But it's none other than the Apple Card. Sorry to you Android users, but don't click off of the video. There will be other cards on this list. What I like about the Apple Card is that you can apply, receive a decision, and see your potential line of credit before receiving a hard inquiry. I provided a full review of the Apple Card here on my channel, so be sure to check out that video for more details. The Apple Card was actually the first credit card that caught my attention with this particular application process. When I applied for the Apple Card a few months back, just to experience this, I received an initial credit line offer of $8,000, which was a bit underwhelming for me since all of my Chase credit cards have credit limits above $10,000 and my Amex Gold card has a pay over time limit of $15,000, so Apple totally lowballed me. Needless to say, I did not accept that offer, and it did not impact my credit score, which is great. I will also mention that data points suggest that the Apple Card is usually generous with credit limit increases, so if you do receive a lower credit limit than expected, just keep in mind that this isn't necessarily the end of the road. If you find yourself using Apple Pay more often than not, be sure to consider the Apple Card and check out my video review. Now, I wonder which credit card is going to be coming up next on the list. The pre-approval tool for Amex cards is pretty recent. As you can see, their website currently lists this as a new feature, and it is available across their different credit cards, including their co-branded cards like the Delta Sky Miles Reserve, for example. I just applied for the Amex Gold card just over 1 month ago, and when I applied, there was a pre-qualified application, which really seemed to function as a tool to identify if you're being targeted to receive a higher welcome offer. Taking a look at the pre-approval application, I immediately noticed the difference between this application and the previous pre-qualified application. Amex now asks for your full social security number instead of just the last 4 digits. Amex has a portfolio of some of the most valuable credit and charge cards when it comes to earning rewards, so this tool is a welcome change and is great for those of you who may have some credit history and are looking to get your first Amex card. One thing I'll caution is to pay attention to the annual fees on their cards and the credits offered to help offset those annual fees. American Express is known to have some of the highest annual fees, but hey, I have the gold card, so that didn't scare me away. And just one quick note, not every single Amex card comes with an annual fee. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and finding it to be helpful, be sure to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm. That little action helps out this channel a ton. For example, my Apple Card video has over 10,000 views, and that's because you guys have liked that video over 500 times. So thank you, thank you. Did I mention thank you? Thank you. Next up is the Discover It credit card. Interesting enough, I had no idea that Discover It offered this feature, and that's probably because it wasn't available when I applied for this card many years ago. Yes, I'm getting old and I'm okay with that. I accept it. Anywhoosies, getting back on the topic here, as you all know, I love my Discovery Cashback credit card, and I've recently reviewed this credit card a few weeks back, so be sure to check out that video if you are interested. A few things that I like about this card is the 5% cashback quarterly rotating calendar, access to a refreshed FICO credit score every month, and the ability to get credit limit increases with soft credit pulls. Here's a screenshot of how Discover's pre-approval application form looks. Two major drawbacks that I do have with the Discover card is that it does not have transfer partners, and this card does not work within an ecosystem like cards from Citi, Chase, or even American Express. Overall, it is a very solid credit card. Next on the list are Chase credit cards. What you will want to do is to navigate to chase.com/preapproved to check to see which credit cards from Chase that you may be approved for or pre-approved for. Chase asks for basic information, but one thing I want to point out is that Chase does not actually ask for your income on this pre-approval application. In addition, when we read the statement down below that you have to acknowledge, the last sentence reads, "Receiving an offer does not guarantee you will be approved." Based on my experience with Chase credit cards, you will need to provide your income and your monthly rent or housing payment, so it is definitely true that you may not actually be able to be approved. Also, keep in mind that Chase has that weird 524 rule, so if you know that you're over 524, just bypass this altogether. Of all of the pre-approval applications we discussed today, Chase's application seems to be the weakest. Okay, you're probably wondering, why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because Chase cards are very valuable, just like Amex cards, and Chase cards can be a little bit more difficult to be approved for because Chase can be a little picky. So at the very least, if you complete this application, you know which cards you're more likely to be approved for with Chase. Now, I'll admit that I had a little bit of trouble choosing this final card. I thought about putting the X1 card in this slot, but in my last video, I came to the conclusion that it isn't the smartest card ever. Then I thought about maybe mentioning the BlockFi credit card, but considering the current state of the crypto market, I think many folks may not be willing to receive rewards in the form of cryptocurrency. So what did that leave me with? And by the way, I'm literally mentioning those cards to give you all additional options because I couldn't stick to just 5 credit cards. Okay, back to the official number 5 credit card, and that is the Sofi Card. Sofi's website states that your credit score will only be affected if you are approved. To get more clarity on that, Sofi states that they will perform a soft credit pull when you apply for a credit card. If you don't qualify, there will be no hard pull. If your application is accepted, then it will result in a hard pull, which may impact your credit score. An interesting note on this is you'll be prompted to create an account once you hit the apply button rather than moving straight into an application. I find this credit card interesting because it is designed to encourage you to save, invest, and pay down outstanding Sofi debt. So this means that you could end up redeeming points for less than 1 cent per point. So be careful with that, but I do appreciate the nod towards investing and saving. If I did not include your favorite soft pull credit card, be sure to leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm and consider subscribing to the channel. With that said, you've made it to the end of the video, which means that you've earned yourself a high five. So come on over and get your high five. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.
Yeah, I just stack it up and say it. Never